Good afternoon, NACEP members. Happy New Year and welcome to NACEP Webbytes. I'm Adam Lowe, NACEP's Executive Director and host of today's Webbyte. Our Webbyte series is designed to bring you interesting topics in bite-sized quantities, 30 minutes or less. Today, we will travel to the Ocean State, where we'll hear from university faculty and high school teachers who are part of the University of Rhode Island's Early Credit High School program. They will share with us some of the technology and human relationship building strategies that they use to create a teaching and learning community, not only between university faculty and concurrent enrollment instructors, but also among the instructors themselves, who are dispersed in high schools across the state. We hope that you will enjoy this short but informative broadcast. The broadcast will be recorded so we can provide access on our website. NACEP members can access this and other past webinar recordings by visiting www.nacep.org and clicking on the blue login button on the right side of the screen. There you'll find a variety of member resources, including an icon connecting you to our archive of past webinars. If you'd like to pose a question during this Webbyte, you may do so at any time by typing it into the questions box that appears near the bottom of your webinar dashboard. I will be on the other end of that question box and will be helping to facilitate Q&A with our speakers. With no further ado, I would like to welcome our presenters, Frank Romanelli, Denise Oliveira, and Amy Zenion. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Frank to get us started and introduce the video that we have lined up for you.
All right, thank you, Adam. Hello, everyone. Hope it's warmer there than it is here. Hope everyone's doing well. I figured that we would start with a video that introduces our community to you, and then we would take it from there. So no further ado, Adam, just take it.
I'm Kirsten Towers, and I'm from Mount Hope High School.
I'm Nancy Newton, I'm from Rogers High School.
Lori Huntley, West Warwick High School.
Lori Kylie Garcia, East Providence High School.
And Frank Romanelli, URI, and Denise Oliveira from Westerly High School, and she's still not getting any audio.
And I'm Beth Pimentel from Smithfield High School.
And Jen Turcott from Johnston High School.
Cool. All right.
It has the link in it too.
Yeah, and I encourage you to have them watch that in each stage. Are you there, Denise?
I am. I'm so excited.
Awesome. Welcome.
I'm at the dealership, so I have to be quiet. I'll just listen.
Oh, it's working. Denise, you're...
Please. I have to do this for work, honey. It's very quiet, okay?
Yeah, background noise. I'm going to mute your audio. You can unmute if you want to talk.
Hi, my name is Alexia Zambrano, and I'm recording this for my URI Writing 104 class. The question is, what's the importance of collaboration in community writing? And I truly believe that collaboration is the most important and useful part of the writing process. And this is because you get to share your work with others and get their opinions.
Hi, my name is David Demano. I attended Tiverton High School, and I took the Writing 104 class with Mrs. Gray. I am now a student at the University of Rhode Island. Taking the Writing 104 class in high school helped a lot because it gave me more time to work on assignments.
Hi, we're from South Kingstown High School. It's our red, white, and blue day. And what I enjoy most about teaching the URI writing class is working with my wonderful URI writing students.
Which is obviously helpful and very important, but I think it was also good to get opinions and comments and suggestions from the students who are going through the same writing process as I am and having the same difficulties writing their papers.
Hi, my name is Emily Pereira, and I currently attend Endicott College in Beverly, Massachusetts, and I'm an interior design major. This past spring, I graduated from Westerly High School, and I was a part of the Writing 104 course. I also learned how to properly research through this course, and this particular skill has helped me tremendously as I'm working on a research paper for my art history class right now.
About teaching a early college credit course is that right away from the get-go, our kids here are introduced to college level expectations. They're working towards college level expectations, and that really makes their work better in all of their other subjects. They are reading complex texts. They are analyzing and providing really important feedback to each other. They start to look towards one another for feedback in everything that they do.
All right, thank you, Adam. So get the slide going here. So this is my 4th year as the coordinator of the program. And when I started the program, the teachers around the state met each other once a year at a professional development day where they got an opportunity to chat with each other. And the first thing I set myself out to do was to create a network that was more active than that, to try and create a community of teachers so that we could support each other, share best practices, collaborate on ideas. What was nice, the wonderful thing that happened to our program was the year after I took it, the state stepped up and said, we're going to pay tuition from now on, so everyone can take the class, which was great because we had all these mixed classes of students who couldn't afford to pay the fee for the class. And that all changed to a concurrent enrollment offering that was paid for. So our population went up by 40% just over the course of the past 3 years. Now I service over 1,000 students a year over the 2 semesters in 32 of the Rhode Island high schools. So, so pretty pleased with how it's gone. But a lot of that has had to do with the popularity of the class and the work that the teachers have done together. And some of the ways that we connect with each other to give each other's ideas. One thing is we actually use the same interface that the students use here at the University of Rhode Island to create our community on Sakai, which everyone has a love-hate relationship with in general, much like Blackboard and some of the others. But it gives us the opportunity to have a page that emulates the same types of pages that the students will see when they get to college or university. So they're familiar with it. And it gives us an opportunity to share some of our best works. We share student works, we share ideas. We keep information up. We even have our Twitter stream showing on the front of the page. So, so we've, over the years, it's gotten more and more successful. One of the other pieces, and this is where I'll turn it over to Denise, is our Writing 104 program has a library research visit that's part of the program. So we work with the high schools to make sure that the students get that opportunity too. And these are your students.
Yeah, these are my students. We go every year, and we meet with the college librarian who runs us through the databases and shows the kids, you know, how to approach words searches with proper wording. And then we give them time in the library to do some research, because when I take them, they know they have a senior research paper to do, which is our argument persuasive paper for the writing course. And so Frank, as the supervising agent, will meet us there. And then after that, after the kids are done in the library, then we do a little bit of a tour on campus, and he shares with them campus life. And so they really do get a feel for the college atmosphere while here. And they also report to me every year that they feel as though I, as their instructor, and I imagine all the instructors, are treating them at a level that's a little bit more collegiate, in that they have more autonomy. They have more opportunity to figure out how to pace themselves. And they do feel that they're not in a traditional high school English class.
Thanks. And so with our annual professional development, what I've done is I've expanded it to make sure that we kind of decide each year together, for the most part, what it is we want to tackle that year. And in our second year, I had Denise and Amy and a couple others share best practices, which started a whole dynamic conversation about best practice. I feel that that was when the community really kicked in and became a community. Excuse me, and that's been ongoing ever since. I guess I'll let Amy take it from here to talk about best practices.
Okay, so this is an example. This is actually the research paper that I wrote with my students a couple of years ago, just to see how long it takes them. They would have complaints about finding sources and just general glitches. So I went and told them that obviously you approach all research with inquiry. So I wanted to know how to improve student writing at the high school. And I really went in unbiased. It's hard to believe. But what I found was that concurrent enrollment is the answer. The whole idea of exploring the rhetorical situation rather than just cranking out 5-paragraph essays and having department members have said at my English department, how do you read papers if you don't know the answer? Well, the students have the answer and they explore it. So over and over, the research just kept surfacing that concurrent enrollment and allowing students to constantly revise, conference with teachers, peer review, that's the answer to improving writing. So I was already doing it. I didn't know I already had the answer. And then this is an example of, I'm fortunate enough to work in a classroom or school that supports Google Classroom. We use that app, and we also, Google Docs are available to everyone. So this is just an example of the learning community in my classroom where many students are collaborating together. And whatever they do, I rely on the revision history just to go back and see what they're correcting, what they're taking out, what they're fixing. And my voice is in there as well. So it's a little microcosm.
Right. Adam, can you stop sharing my screen now and put it back to us? Okay. So one of the things that happened organically this year that was really exciting to me was, okay, we got it? So one of the things that happened this year that was really exciting to me organically was as the community of teachers has formed, we've started getting the attention of the department and really become just kind of really recognized as a part of the department. I put a little spin on it. I always refer to the teachers in the concurrent enrollment program as the 40 best adjuncts in the department. And people started believing it because it's true. And we are in the process of redoing the class in the department. And the first year writing coordinator put together a pilot class and asked for volunteers to pilot the new writing 104. And 9 people volunteered, 7 of them, 2 of them here, and 5 more were concurrent enrollment teachers. So I got to say, I'm feeling pretty proud about being a part of that and knowing that these concurrent enrollment students are going to get our new class before almost every other student on campus by almost a year. So that's been pretty exciting. And that's kind of where it is now. So
it kind of speaks to the course itself that we've been teaching. Amy and I have been teaching it for a very long time. It does evolve, it does change. A couple of years ago, we added in mandatory investigative report, and now it's evolving to meet the world of digital literacy even more so. And so it's a course, no matter what, it doesn't go stagnant.
So, any questions so far or comments?
We did get one in. One question was, does every high school class come to visit the library?
Just about. We try to make it a point. We really push that it's in both the NACEP and the NEASC standards that the class be the exact class that's taught on campus. We live by that credo, so I do everything I can to get the high schools here. I even write letters to teachers to give to principals so that they can get the field trip approved and whatever it takes. So I'd say we're probably at about 90%. And
great.
I was just going to say that this program is a long-standing program. The URI English department actually started offering the early college program with a couple of local high schools in the 1970s, and that has evolved into this now. And I don't know if you remember the figures that I showed, but we are half the program at URI. All the other classes combined make up the other half. So it's a pretty robust program.
Another question here was, are you able to get the teachers together in person throughout the year, or do you use video conferencing like this to bring them together?
So for the most part during the school year, we as a group, when we do collaborate, it's usually on a Zoom conference like this. And then we have one full day professional development conference in May where we're together for 6 hours. And each year we've had a different theme with that, and we'll spend the morning kind of with a keynote and going over some ideas, and then in the afternoon some kind of activity. It's been really robust and fun.
Just got another question in here. This question wants to know about the online board that you showed earlier that was similar to Blackboard. Are all teachers able to post materials to that, and what types of classroom materials are they presenting there?
Yeah, so in our resource area, there's a folder where teachers can upload. Sometimes teachers that don't feel as confident about that will just send it to me and I'll upload it for them. And then I treat it the same way I treat my hybrid and online classes. I just send out a message whenever anything's been uploaded, or whenever there's a new message on the board or new information. I put up, we have video instructions that we use for the students that we've created to help them register, and video instructions that I created for teachers to show them how to handle our grading system. And those are up there. So we keep that pretty active. I also put my calendar up there so that I visit every school in the state every semester. I meet every student, and we have an advising session, and I get to get a view of what's going on in the class. And honestly, it's really helped me be a better teacher by seeing some of the stuff that my colleagues have been doing in the concurrent enrollment classes.
My students, I have quite a few students who attend URI after high school, and they report back that they so appreciated being able to take the class in high school, because they feel that, you know, sometimes at the college level the feedback isn't maybe as plentiful as it is at the high school level. The opportunity to engage with your professor is less than it is in a high school setting with the instructor there. And so they just feel there's a bit more of an intimate environment, which promotes the writing comfort and security in the classroom. And so they're always, plus it's a lot of work. The course is a lot of work, and they're kind of glad to have that checked off their list before they get to high school, going with stronger writing skills and confidence. So.
Yeah.
Regarding our community, yeah, I would say that we are connected through Google as well. So follow up with emails and then shared Google Docs. 2 years ago, Frank created a panel. There's a picture of us in our slideshow where we just showed best practices and had a discussion. And then the follow up for that with me, I actually presented my research paper about concurrent enrollment. And I did get a great deal of feedback and people asking for work samples. So we're connected through email additionally, but I posted mine on that website as well. So it's layered, and there's different ways that we connect, but that is the central part of it.
And this year in May, what the plan is, we already have a plan because of the pilot, is the first year writing coordinator will lead the day with this panel of teachers who are doing the pilot to train everyone else so that we can implement in September, which will be a year earlier than the university for full implementation. The other thing I got to mention is that one of the teachers who's taken charge with the pilot, and she's really taken off with it, and she said, I can do so much more in 20 weeks than you folks can do in 11. So she's really made the point that the concurrent enrollment class will get more than a campus class will get in a semester. And that point's really been coming up here and there a lot. And like Denise said, the more personal attention they can give, the more feedback they can give, the more time they have to develop ideas. It's really made a very important point about concurrent enrollment classes, that they actually have an opportunity to do more and to get more attention. So.
This next question is a two-part question. The first is, have you used video conferencing to do guest lectures in each other's classrooms? And the second one is, have you used any online resources for assessment alignment, such as grading each other's papers?
Guest lectures. Now, that's an idea that I hadn't thought of. I've thought about student collaboration because it's writing, and seeing, I have a vision of getting schools to kind of interrelate and have students from different schools collaborate with each other in the drafting process, since almost everyone's using Google Classroom now. And that's something that's in my vision for the future, wanting to figure out how to make that happen. The idea of us actually going into each other's classes and doing some teaching would be a really cool thing, actually. Thank you for that suggestion. I like that a lot.
I feel like the direction of the new piloting program, the program that we're heading toward is definitely so collaborative that we would share one another's student papers, because it's so new and it's a lot of digital literacy. So I definitely feel like that urgently needs us to get involved in that. And then Frank, when he came to my school, opened up a Flipgrid with my students, and then another school responded to my students' Flipgrid. So we dabbled with it at that point, but yeah, there's so much more we can do.
Yeah.
That's the last of the questions that have come in so far. Anyone else with a question who wants to type it in? Further thoughts and comments from our speakers?
I'll just say that the more I look at the archaic research that came up and was recycled in the paper that I wrote, because some of the new studies were citing 20-year-old studies, which is that many high school students across the country, it's not just my own students, have never been asked to write more than a 3-page paper ever. And students will articulate that, and you never know if you could believe them or not. So writing that paper just reinforced that students need to have less anxiety over writing, and the nature of peer review and genuine revision and authentic feedback and authentic audience. That's something that I try to incorporate too, but this idea of community and writing just not being this dead occurrence that happens on a piece of paper that gets read alone by a sad teacher in the middle of the night with some red ink on it that then goes into a recycle bin, but that it's this living communication with a real community. And so we try to do that with our students, but we also are doing it among ourselves too. And it's so rewarding, and it's so real. And the students don't know what to do with it, because they still say, but I've never written a 3-page paper. It's like, you're fine. We have to begin. So
I'll add on to that. Another aspect of it is that vertical articulation in the high schools. I'm able to take back to my department where I see the kids going and the areas that the kids are actually saying we feel weak in this. Today I had a student say one of my goals this year is to work on my grammar. So I can take these things back, because our students write such a reflective essay. They're so specific toward learner outcomes that it's great to go back to the English department at the high school level and say, can we all start ramping up these areas with a more continuum from 9 through 12. So, future.
So we're obviously talking from the perspective of being writing teachers, and I know that you all aren't writing teachers, and we're enjoying the pilot because it really focuses on the rhetoric side of writing, and that's really exciting that students will get a sense of the authenticity of what they're learning. But I think in terms of concurrent enrollment classes and community, I think that the fact that we have gotten the recognition in just three and a half years that I've been the director, that we've gotten the recognition of the department and beyond, one of the assistant provosts and a couple of the deans have really noticed that we are legitimately teaching a college class to these students, and that we're teaching the URI class, and that they're getting something out of it, and they're coming in prepared to write. Just speaks a lot to the success of concurrent enrollment in general, and the model that we've created with each other, because we have community, because this group gets together regularly. Ever since we went to Louisville together, we'll get together for coffee, and doing this again just so that we could get together, so, and it goes from there.
Well, nothing like a road trip to foster a good sense of community among peers. So, well, thank you very much, Frank, Denise, and Amy, and for all of you who attended and participated this afternoon. As a reminder, this broadcast and all of our past webinars are always available for members on our website to review at their convenience. You can join us for our next Webbyte on February 12th, focusing on reaching more students through group advising. a topic that is of growing importance as more students enroll in concurrent and dual enrollment courses. We have 3 upcoming in-person events that we hope you'll get on your calendars. Our Spring Accreditation Institute will be in Albuquerque, New Mexico on April 18th. Our Midwest Regional Conference in Cincinnati, Ohio, May 14th and 15th. And our national conference this year will be in San Antonio, Texas on November 4th through 6th. Details about these, as well as numerous local events put on by our state and regional chapters and other members, can be found at nacep.org. And lastly, if you had a question that we weren't able to get to today, or if you think of something later, please feel free to reach out to us at information@nacep.org. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks,
Adam. Thank you.